Energy doesn't lie. It's the invisible truth that vibrates before words are spoken, before gestures are made, before logic has a chance to interfere. When a man is drawn to you, his energy shifts in ways he can't control, no matter how determined he is to hide it. You feel it when he enters the room. It's like the air subtly changes temperature. There's an unspoken tension, a kind of magnetic awareness that hangs in the space between you. He may act indifferent, he may talk casually, but the current of his presence betrays him. His words might be neutral, but his energy leans in closer every time you speak. You see, attraction is not something that can be neatly packaged or politely disguised. It's not something that obeys reason. It leaks through his tone, through the rhythm of his breath when you're near, through the pauses that hang a little too long when he looks at you. He might not touch you, but his attention touches you. His eyes may glance away quickly, yet you know he saw you before anyone else did. It's not about what he says, it's about how his presence responds to yours. Every time you laugh, his energy subtly amplifies like a light flickering higher. When you shift in your seat, he unconsciously mirrors you. When you speak, his body turns just slightly toward your voice, as if magnetized. He doesn't plan this, it's instinct. Human beings are energetic communicators before they are verbal ones. You don't have to analyze or decode it, you just have to feel it. Because when someone likes you, even if they never admit it, their energy starts orbiting around you. It's in the way his guard drops when you talk about something that matters. It's in the way he unconsciously gives you more of his focus than he gives anyone else. Energy doesn't lie because it's the language of authenticity. When he's trying not to show his feelings, he'll try to control his words, his expression, even his schedule, but he cannot control the subtle vibration that gives him away. He might distract himself, talk about other people, or keep conversations light, yet even in his attempts to stay composed, there's a charge, a flicker of awareness, a pull, a hesitation that gives him away. His laughter might come a little too easily when you joke. His tone might soften, or his words might stumble slightly when you're looking at him. These are not accidents. They are the body's quiet rebellion against the mind's control. Energy also reveals itself through contrast. He might appear calm around others, but slightly restless around you. He might act disinterested, yet his energy tells a different story. One of curiosity, admiration, and a quiet pull he's not ready to admit. You can feel when someone's pretending to be neutral, yet the air between you feels charged, like a whisper the world hasn't caught up to. That's how truth feels, not loud but undeniable. It's not in the words, it's in the vibration underneath them. That's how you know when a man likes you but is trying not to show it. His energy will always arrive before his confession ever does. When a man likes you but isn't ready to reveal it, he often creates distance instead of closeness. It's counterintuitive, but emotional attraction can trigger a self-protective retreat. You might notice him avoiding eye contact when the moment feels too charged, or suddenly becoming less communicative after a deep conversation. This isn't rejection. It's the mind stepping in to regulate the heart. He's drawn to you, but he's also battling his own uncertainty, his fear of exposure, of being too transparent too soon. His silence isn't emptiness. It's a storm he's trying to calm within himself. Sometimes men don't know how to handle the intensity of what they feel, so they step back in order to regain control. He may try to convince himself that you're just another person, just another passing thought, but his efforts to suppress his feelings only make them grow louder in his mind. Avoidance in this context becomes a disguise for desire. You'll notice it in subtle behavioral contradictions. He won't reach out for days, yet when you do cross paths, there's an undeniable spark, as if his energy has been waiting for the encounter. He may speak casually, but his body betrays him, his shoulders slightly tense. His gaze flickers between wanting to look and needing to hide. He acts indifferent, but every move is deliberate restraint. The avoidance isn't about you. It's about the emotional vulnerability that your presence awakens in him. He's not avoiding you because he doesn't care. He's avoiding the feelings that you bring out in him. Sometimes men retreat when they care deeply because they've been conditioned to equate vulnerability with weakness. They believe that if they stay distant, they'll maintain power, control, composure. But attraction, when real, refuses to obey logic. It seeps through silence, through the unspoken. His withdrawal is a paradoxical form of closeness, an emotional tug of war between the desire to move toward you and the instinct to protect himself from the risk that comes with wanting something deeply. You might notice him appear completely composed one day and slightly unsettled the next. That fluctuation is his inner conflict playing out in real time. He may avoid certain topics that could expose his feelings. He might act less available, make himself busy, or pretend not to notice you when he absolutely does. These small performances are shields, ways of maintaining the illusion of detachment. Yet beneath those defenses, there's tension, a pull, a suppressed excitement that spills through the cracks. When he avoids you, his avoidance has intention behind it. It's not apathy, it's hesitation. It's the unspoken fear that his emotions will betray him if he stands too close, that his composure will dissolve under your gaze. He hides behind distance not because he wants to disappear, but because he's not yet ready to be seen. Avoidance becomes his temporary armor, but like all armor, it's heavy, and sooner or later, it begins to crack under the weight of genuine feeling. His eyes are the one place his defenses fail him. No matter how carefully he chooses his words, how steady his tone sounds, or how controlled his actions appear, his eyes betray everything he's trying to suppress. When a man likes you but is determined not to show it, his gaze becomes both his confession and his contradiction. He will look at you like he's studying something sacred, then quickly glance away as though caught doing something forbidden. His eyes will linger for a fraction too long when you speak, tracing the shape of your words as if each one pulls him in deeper. He may even try to act uninterested, busying himself with something else, yet you'll still catch those quick, involuntary glances that reveal what his lips never will. It's as if his eyes have a language of their own, one that doesn't obey his mind's attempts to remain composed. When he looks at you, it's not just curiosity, it's recognition. Something in him responds to something in you, and the eyes become the bridge for that unspoken exchange. They search for you across a crowded room. They soften when you smile. They light up when your laughter breaks the air. Even when he's trying to maintain distance, his gaze will betray a pull that's magnetic, almost involuntary. There's a quiet depth in the way he looks at you. Not the quick glance of passing attraction, but the kind of look that carries thought, reflection, emotion. It's a momentary drop of his guard where truth leaks through. And the fascinating part is that he often doesn't even realize he's doing it. The eyes move before the brain has time to edit, and in that split second, his true feelings slip past his self-control. You'll notice that his gaze is inconsistent, sometimes bold, sometimes fleeting. When he's comfortable, his eyes will linger without hesitation, but the moment he becomes aware of what he's doing, he'll retreat into avoidance. That push and pull of eye contact is a mirror of the tension he feels internally, the desire to express and the fear of being exposed. You can almost sense his thoughts in the rhythm of those glances, the pause when he meets your eyes and forgets his next word, the quick shift away when he realizes you've caught him, the way he might look down and smile to himself, as if trying to hide the truth that his eyes already said. It's through the eyes that emotional honesty breaks through the walls of composure. They dilate slightly when he's drawn to you. They follow your movements, even when he's pretending to be distracted. When you walk away, they stay a moment longer than they should, tracing the space you've left behind. Every look, every flicker, every pause. It's all part of a silent dialogue happening beneath the surface. He might fool others with his words. He might even convince himself that he's indifferent, but his eyes will always tell on him. They become the clearest window to what he's fighting not to reveal. The quiet confession of a man who's trying to hide his heart in plain sight. When a man truly likes you, even if he's trying not to show it, his attention becomes deliberate in ways that words can't mask. You start to notice that he remembers things others easily forget. A story you told weeks ago, the way you take your coffee, the book you mentioned in passing, or the small detail about your day that you thought no one was listening to. He might act casual when you speak, but his mind is collecting fragments of you, storing them quietly, holding on to them as if they matter more than he wants to admit. This kind of listening isn't about politeness or good manners, it's emotional curiosity. It's the heart leaning in while the mouth stays silent. You'll sense it in the pauses he gives you, the way he lets you finish your thoughts without interruption, the way he seems to absorb your words as if they have a weight that pulls him inward. He may not express it directly, but his body language reveals the quality of his attention. His posture tilts toward you even in a crowded room. When you speak, his focus sharpens, the distractions of the world fade, and for that moment you become his center. He listens not just to what you say, but to how you say it, the tone, the emotion behind your words, the subtle shifts in your expression. It's as though he's attuned to your inner world, picking up signals that others overlook. When you're upset, he senses it before you explain. When you're joyful, his own energy subtly mirrors yours. That is the mark of a man who's invested emotionally, even when he's trying to keep it hidden. You'll notice this form of attention in small, almost invisible gestures. He might follow up later on something you mentioned, asking about that meeting, that plan, that dream. He might adjust his schedule slightly to align with yours, though he'll never say that's why. It's the silent generosity of care disguised as coincidence. Real listening is never accidental. It's the soul's way of saying, "I see you," without actually saying it aloud. And that's what happens when a man is drawn to you but doesn't want to reveal it. He hides behind neutrality while his behavior quietly reveals devotion. There's a depth to this kind of listening that feels different. It's not the superficial nod of attention that people give out of courtesy. It's the stillness of someone who genuinely wants to understand you. He's not just collecting information, he's connecting dots about who you are. He listens because he's intrigued by your essence, because something about your thoughts resonates with his unspoken desires. He wants to know what excites you, what scares you, what moves you, not because he's planning to use that knowledge, but because he's already emotionally involved. And though he may never say it, his listening speaks for him. It's through his silence, his recall, his awareness of your subtle changes that his true feelings echo most clearly. He's trying not to show it, but the way he listens is already the confession he's trying so hard to hide. There's a certain shift in his energy when other men are around you, subtle but unmistakable. The atmosphere changes, his body reacts before his mind can intervene. He might straighten his posture, his tone becomes firmer, his gestures more deliberate. It's as if an instinctive alertness takes over, a quiet assertion that doesn't need words. He may not say a thing, but his presence begins to mark territory in ways even he doesn't consciously register. He doesn't necessarily try to impress you. It's more primal than that. It's the unspoken need to be seen by you, to remain significant in the emotional space you occupy. He may joke more, interject more, or suddenly appear more animated. His silence becomes louder, his stillness more intense. That silent competition is his heart's way of declaring something his ego refuses to admit. You'll notice that his demeanor subtly shifts depending on who's around. When you're alone, he's relaxed, grounded, even hesitant. But the moment another man engages you, he becomes alert, attentive, present in a new way. It's not necessarily jealousy, it's awareness. a kind of protective pride that reveals itself through micro-expressions, the slight tightening of his jaw, the longer than usual glance in your direction, the small gestures that say, "I'm still here." He won't interfere directly, but he'll make sure his energy doesn't disappear from your awareness. Maybe he'll stand a little closer, laugh at something you say just a bit louder, or ask a question that redirects the attention toward him. These are not random acts of social behavior. They are instinctive responses to emotional investment. He might never admit it, but men often compete in silence for the emotional spotlight. They don't need to confront or claim. They simply want to be noticed. When he likes you but tries not to show it, this silent competition becomes his battleground. He's fighting not just other men, but also himself. He wants to appear composed, detached, unfazed, yet every interaction tests his self-control. His instincts want to protect, to impress, to hold your attention, while his logic tells him to stay calm, to not give himself away. That inner tug of war creates tension in his behavior. He may look composed on the outside, but you'll feel the subtle charge in the air, the way his energy rises the moment someone else draws near you. It's fascinating how this dynamic plays out even when words aren't exchanged. His gestures grow sharper, his presence more defined. He might glance at the other man, then at you, not out of hostility, but to read your response. He's trying to measure how much space he holds in your awareness. That's why the smallest cues, your laughter, your eye contact, your tone, matter to him more than you realize. Because when a man likes you but is suppressing his emotions, every interaction involving you becomes a test of control. And in those moments of quiet competition, you can see his truth slipping through. The protectiveness, the quiet pride, the need to remain relevant. All signs of a man wrestling with feelings he's not ready to claim. When a man likes you but is trying not to show it, the most revealing moments are not the ones filled with charm or confidence, but the ones where his mask slips for just a second. It happens in the pauses, in the moments when he forgets to perform, when he's not trying to impress you. That's when his vulnerability surfaces. He might be telling a story and suddenly reveal something personal, something he normally wouldn't share. It could be a small admission about his fears, his insecurities, or his dreams. The tone of his voice changes, softens, becomes more genuine. His eyes hold a trace of hesitation, as if part of him wants to take the words back, but another part wants you to know. That's vulnerability, the soul peeking out from behind the armor. He may not even realize he's doing it. It's an instinctive act of trust that only happens when someone stirs something deeper within him. You'll notice these moments come unexpectedly. He could be calm, composed, perfectly in control 1 minute, and then, with a single question or glance from you, the facade fades. He shows you a glimpse of the real man beneath, the one who feels, who doubts, who hopes. It's often subtle, never theatrical. Maybe it's the way his expression softens when you talk about something meaningful. Maybe it's the silence that follows when he's trying to find the right words to express what he's never said aloud. Vulnerability isn't about weakness, it's about truth breaking through restraint. And when a man is fighting his attraction for you, those cracks in his composure are often the first signs of surrender. Sometimes vulnerability appears as nervousness, a hesitation in his voice, a moment where he loses his train of thought, a shift in his breathing. You can sense that he's trying to hold himself together, but something in your presence disarms him. His laughter may sound less practiced, more real. His defense is lower, even if just for an instant. And in that small window, you see the man he tries to hide. These are not accidents, they are emotional reflexes. When a man feels something real, his subconscious allows glimpses of his authentic self to slip through, because deep down, attraction awakens the need to be seen for who he truly is. Vulnerability also reveals itself through care. The way he asks if you got home safely, or how he notices when your mood shifts. These gestures might seem casual, but they're filled with unspoken tenderness. He's revealing emotion without naming it, showing affection without claiming it. It's the safest way he knows to express what he feels, through quiet acts of concern rather than open declarations. And while he may still retreat afterward, the vulnerability lingers in the space between you. It's the proof that his composure isn't indifference. It's a fragile shield protecting something far more honest. Because when a man is drawn to you but unwilling to expose it, the truth doesn't vanish. It simply hides inside those fleeting, unguarded moments where his soul forgets to pretend.